It's Hearts standard, it's Craig Cairns, it's Joel Sked. We're at Tynecastle. Hearts have just won the Scottish Cup quarter-final 3-1 against Dundee. I said that as if there's only one quarter-final. There's 4 of them. There's another 3 to play before Hearts find out who they have in the draw for the semi-final. Joe, what were your thoughts on that?
I thought it was overall it was a good night. I thought it was a really enjoyable cup tie. I thought it was quite captivating, the session, the second half. I thought the first half was even. The Hearts had the better chances. There was only really one scare. I thought it was quite an even start. Hearts didn't come out with a fast start that was kind of half expected after the derby, but then they created better chances. There was that one scare when Steinvender maybe misjudged the ball or kind of let Adewemi get ahead of him, and he did well to kind of put him off and recover. Adewemi hit the bar, but aside from that, Vargas had 2 chances. Kartum put one top corner. Second half, that was where I was a wee bit worried, where Dundee equalised and they were like, how are they going to respond? Critchley praised their character, responded really well, scored through Simon Murray, own goal, and then his first ever goal at Tynecastle. And then from there it was really comfortable. I thought the Hearts, there was only going to be one winner and it probably should have been more comfortable.
But as you said with that Adewemi chance, it just shows you that for all the good that they did in the first half, maybe didn't take advantage enough when they were on top, and it shows you just that one lapse of concentration, and it could all that hard work.
The balance, yeah. And that's something that the team probably need to work on, because that creates nervousness within or tension within the ground, which maybe feeds into players when it doesn't need to be there. Hearts are comfortable, and then when the game is so tight, like I said, one moment and it changes, because if Adewemi had scored, then you're going into half time and everyone's deflated. But thankfully that didn't happen.
You could hear how impatient, I actually think it was a wee bit over the top, but you could hear how impatient or how quickly the Hearts fans were willing to get impatient there. And it is off the back of the derby defeat and this conversation at the moment about Critchley and big games and stuff. I actually think Hearts were still, after they sort of rode out that 5-minute period, they were still in a fairly comfortable place, but there was a bit of impatience when an attack was breaking down and things like that. So it just showed you that the crowd was there, sort of ready to turn if things didn't go well. Yeah,
I think that was always. That was expected after the game on Sunday, but at the same time, I thought the atmosphere was really good.
Yeah, it was.
Dundee had a big support, and I think that made the difference. And then there was, but the crowd as a whole, there was frustration, but they got behind the team and they pushed the team, and then it was a really lively atmosphere throughout the second half. And I thought it really turned into a ding dong affair cup. It was there was a spell where it was just back and forth like a basketball game, and I
did not enjoy that.
it was captivating, and then it added to it, and then you just felt the confidence kind of go through the team and then into the crowd as well.
Starting lineup, I think a few things that we kind of predicted or expected. Kartum coming in, we'll speak about him in a minute. Forrester coming back in. Vargas was maybe a slight surprise, but you can see the thinking. And other than putting in the ball in the net, it was a great shift from him.
Yeah, I knew he was lively throughout. He was absolutely he was absolutely brilliant. Just
defensive a couple of times as well.
Yeah, really, really good. He was. It was a big game for him because he's not had a great season. The comments going back to November, he's been out the team. He's been kind of on the fringes, coming off the bench. He has had a couple of moments like the goal off the bench against St Mirren, I think it was.
St Mirren and Dundee.
St Mirren and Dundee. So when he's come off the bench, because of his pace, he offers a threat. But he was just a constant menace today, and he did what I was kind of expecting Simon Murray to do at the other end, where he was just a constant pace. He was playing on the shoulder, wasn't giving a defender a minute's peace, and then he was so unlucky not to score the opening goal, where he kind of cut on and then curled the ball just past the post.
He had a sort of underrated contribution to the opening goal as well. There's a point when no idea where we were. Somebody came over and interrupted us. So we were talking about Vargas. Other than put the ball in the net, he did everything. He was like one of the better players on the pitch. Other than put the ball in the net, I thought it was a brilliant performance.
Yeah, absolutely. When I think he set the tone early on, even though he missed when he just ran down at that left space, cut in and just fired one just past the post. And then I think that kind of just, it was like, right, he's going to be on one today, and he just grew in confidence as the game went on. The only thing his performance was missing was a goal. Had a good chance after better in the first half, but it just didn't really sit for him.
Yeah.
It was a hard one for him, and then
I need to see it again. I'm not sure. He had defenders either side of him. He's sort of taking the touch on the spin. I think it's a decent touch, but it doesn't quite sit for him. I don't think it has to kind of lash it.
Yeah, and it's an awkward height for him. Second half, he just kept on running, kept on putting pressure on. Again, had a couple of moments where it just didn't fall for him. He just didn't get played in, but it was a really encouraging performance. And I think, aside from Kartum, who we'll come on to speak about, it was a big. He probably had the biggest night.
Aye. I remember what I was saying when we got interrupted. His contribution to the opening goal. So the lead up to the throw-in, he makes a run over to the left. There was a couple of times in that first half where Spittle seemed to be getting annoyed with Cabangu for always running towards the goal and basically away from the play when he should have been offering a pass. And I think Vargas makes a run that Cabangu should have made. They win the throw and then throw 2 passes later and it's in the net. So he even had a contribution towards that. You mentioned him, Kartum, man of the moment. I mean, he even mentioned it himself there. His quotes will be out tomorrow night.
Sunday. Yeah, so tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night. He or tonight by the time you're watching this. He even acknowledged himself that he was disappointed with his debut, his full debut against St Mirren. Yeah. I mean, what a performance! Yeah, I mean that's the kind of performance that gets those goals. That's what gets you excited about a player.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's Critchley mentioned that it was part of the reason they recruited him is his threat from outside the box, and we watched that from the bits I saw of him playing in Norway. He did offer a threat, whether it was breaking into the box late or it was that threat from outside the box. You can see he's a technically very good player. I think it's been mentioned a few times, I think maybe you mentioned it as well, where you've got a guy scoring an absolute screamer from the edge of the box, but his second goal for us, it was it was even better. 2 very different, sublime, stupendous goals, and the second one is, I don't know, there's something about someone scoring a goal with the outside of their foot. Yeah. It just makes it better. And then the turn as well. So
that would have been good enough. Turn.
It was aside from that, it was a good solid performance. I thought he got stuck in really well. He contributed on both sides of the game, but he just settled it with those 2 fantastic goals.
I never get any props for anything. Defence. Another central defensive partnership. I suppose that was the other surprise in the lineup, but this was an enforced change rather than a tactical thing. And I suppose for other than a couple of awkward moments, I feel Lewis Nielsen did really well. Steinwender, again, you mentioned that one moment where that sort of lapse towards the end of the first half. Other than that, I was ready to say it was like a colossal performance. It was like one of those ones where he was getting his head on everything, and he's just so he seems like the kind of guy that wants to take a game by the scruff of the neck as well. He wants to take the ball and he wants to step out and he wants to start the play and find players. Yeah,
absolutely. He wants to take responsibility and he wants to be a leader. I think that was something that stood out when I spoke to people at Varnamo, and also stood out when Tom Irvin wrote the analysis piece on him. He said he's a leader, and that could be seen. And the fact that I spent a wee bit of the first half working out how many centre-back partnerships we've started with, and I think I'm positive it's 13 either centre-back partnerships or centre-back trios, and that's
just the ones that Hearts have started with.
Yeah, so it's probably changed in the game as well, so there's even more. But
because there's a game where Aberdeen game, they changed that 3 or 4 times in that game. Kai Rills went to left back and stuff. Yeah, so it's been, and it's under Critch as well. I think he started. Did he start with Kent and Rawls, and he's Steinwender and Nielsen? No one could have saw that coming. But the pair of them, I thought they were really good, except for 2 moments. The one we mentioned in the first half, and maybe the goal. I need to see it back. It's Nielsen. I don't know if he gets caught into the ball. With Shaughnessy's free, I don't know if it's Penrice that should have came across quicker or Nielsen should have. Back, yeah, but aside from that, I think considering the situation that led to them playing together, I thought they did really well. I was a wee bit concerned because Adewemi's are really good. Lively forward. Simon Murray, I think he's got better with age. I think he's a Premiership forward now. He's scored loads of goals. He was a nuisance. He's a pest. We've seen it a few times over the past couple of seasons, but
he was barely in it, scored an own goal, but that was aside, and I think that's down to Nielsen handling really well. Nielsen came across and had a brilliant intervention in the second half when the game was really open, and like you said, Steinwender just seemed to head absolute everything, be in the right place. It's weird, he's like, he plays in a controlled manner, but he always seems to be on the edge. He just seems to strike me as someone who really enjoys defending and also wanting to get on the ball and make things happen without taking risks.
Is there anything else you want to add from the game before I ask you your preference for the draw on Monday night?
In terms of adding anything, I don't think so. It was a weird one when we were writing the analysis. I thought that it was pretty straightforward. Like, I'd sum up summary of the game: Steinwender and Kartum and Vargas. Everything else was players either were fine or just had solid enough performances.
What about, and I'm just doing this off the top of my head, but it'll be interesting to have a look, what about Hearts scoring goals, responding to scoring goals? They seem to be quite good at that. I mean, I'm hesitating now because my head's instantly gone back to after 2-1 against Hibs, but even earlier in that game, go behind and they score fairly soon after it. There have been quite a few games in recent times where Hearts have responded well to a goal, if I'm not mistaken.
Off the top of my head, I think so. Yeah, I think there is something in that. A lot of. I need to look at this. I looked at it last week, but I can't remember the exact figures. But I think Hearts' best
Rangers as well.
Best period
after the half.
Best period at scoring is between the 41st and 65th minute or something like that. So there's those periods after half time where that's where they're strongest at in terms of goals.
And as I said, any preference for the draw? We have the luxury. The last time we were covering a Scottish Cup tie, it was a wee bit later than this actually. We were in Paisley, and we had just found out who Hearts had. We had to watch all the other games, watch Rangers get knocked out, and then nervously sit and watch Hearts try and get through against St Mirren. Now we have the opposite. We get to sit feet up, watch the other ties as they come in. Out of any of the 6 teams, do you have a preference?
Out of the 6 teams, I just really want to play Aberdeen at Hampden. I don't know if I don't.
Probably the worst one you could pick.
I don't really mind. Well, ideally Hearts win the Scottish Cup, and I would like it to be. I would like to beat Aberdeen on the way. So whether that's semi-final or final.
Fair enough. I'm not sure I would want to take that risk. I would. I think Hearts have had a fairly difficult-ish in the like if you take the whole tournament into 2 Premiership teams. I mean, St Mirren away, that's a fairly difficult one. Aberdeen have had an easy draw so far, and I'm not having a go. Hearts had a very easy draw in 2012. So yes, I would like Livy or Queen's Park, I think, but I can't see Queen's Park going through at all. So Livy, I'll take Livy.
Yeah, I mean anything.
Queen's Park would be a home tie for them.
Yeah. Stuart's inquiry on that, but no, I whoever we get, take it. So obviously, self tickets are difficult because self tickets is a harder game, but at the same time, I don't want Hibs going through. So yeah, Aberdeen, St Johnstone, Livingston, Queen's Park.
Hearts just need to win games. We're back to that again. Hearts, just win your games, Hearts. But Hearts are going to Hampden again. Who would have thought that just a couple of months ago that Hearts would be going to Hampden?
Forgot to do this at the start.
I could probably chop it up and put it at the start, given all the interruptions.
It's been all over the place, considering we've had balls going flying past us, kids singing,
hospitality guests just joining in the video.
Hearts Standard is brought to you by S1 Jobs. It's time to hand in your transfer request. If it's time to hand in your transfer request, then head over to s1jobs.com and upload your CV today. With thousands of jobs across Edinburgh and the surrounding areas, you'll find the one at S1 Jobs. Start your search today. Had to get that in because I'll get in trouble if I don't.
Well remembered. And please check everything out at heartstandard.co.uk. There'll be lots of stuff going up from this game and preview and the Ross County game next week. Please subscribe to this channel. If you want to comment, you now have to subscribe. It only then takes a minute to allow you to comment after that. It's free. just hit that red button down there. And as always, we will see you all soon.
We'll be back on Monday night for the draw.
We are going to do a live reaction to the draw. We actually decided before the game, sort of tempting fate a wee bit, but we decided it's Dundee at home in the Scottish Cup, going to win.
What's worse?
So we're going to do a live reaction to the draw. So after the Livy St Johnstone game on Monday night, straight to the draw after that, we're going to be on YouTube reacting to it, basically. We'll see you then.